So what does it mean to go through my biggest fear is really going back to the orphanage and seeing what it means to be an orphan. And so I had the opportunity to work closely with the residents who were disabled babies, infant, teenager, young adults, and senior. And they did have all the facilities in terms of housing. They had a roof over their head, they had food on the table, they had television, they had a house mother. But what they lacked really was the human wants. And so I was able to provide that whilst I was there. So that meant a lot, and I was crying every single day, and it must be one of the most difficult things that I have done in my life, but I'm really proud that I did that. So another thing that also healed me to some extent is obviously being in contact with my birth family and my Korean foster family, starting to learn the language and be able to communicate and express myself a little bit too. And then I also went to Inje University program for Korean adoptees, where I learned a bit of the language and the culture for 3 months, and then also not only mixed with other Korean adoptees, but also Korean students, and experience student life actually in Korea, and become part of different student society, like the calligraphy one, or the Taekyon one, which is a Korean martial art between martial art and folk dance. Being in Korea for about 6 months also enabled me to experience the country differently than going on a short-term travel basis or living there forever. And so I was able to spend more time with my friends, visiting my birth family and my Korean foster family. And yes, that was really, really nice, and it kind of, all of that started to answer questions that I didn't even know I had. So that definitely was part of the healing process. Attending international gathering of adoptees was really good as well. And the long-term friendship with true Korean people and other cats, that has been very good. What else? Yeah, so it's been an incredible journey so far, and there is still some difficult moments, but each day I progress. I can look in hindsight and kind of give a different perspective, interpretation, put a different filter about some of the painful events that happened in the past. And amongst that also, I want to say that this journey has brought a lot of rewarding things, and a lot of very good moments, so that really needs to be highlighted. And also meeting wonderful people, and may or may not be related to Korea or adoption and things like that. But you do find sometimes meaningful encounter where you least expect it. So what would be my words of comfort? Basically, you are not alone. We are part of a gigantic subculture. We are over 200,000 international Korean adoptees across the world. And there are many people who do care for us. And I wanted to read to you a little text written by someone back in 2004 for the Korean gathering, and this person became my husband, and I didn't know it at the time. And here it goes. Each of us at some moment in our lives believes that they are alone. In that silent moment, in a dark place, there is no others. Yet, there are other times we find the warm glow of acceptance that alights from knowing that someone else understands us. So to me, actually, when I read that text the first time, and I even hadn't met him, I felt understood, because it reminded me of a very difficult time in my life where I was feeling lonely, really, really lonely. And so reading that gave me a lot of comfort, and I hope it does the same for you. Let it breathe, let it breathe. Just be yourself. 너를 위한 달콤한 시간. So my word of comforts are that actually you're not alone. In terms of the Korean adoptee community, we are at least 200,000 of us, and so it is possible to share our experience. There is professional help out there. It's just a matter of finding it, and then obviously the relationship that you have with yourself, you really have to nurture that, and it's been a journey in itself, actually, to get to know oneself, to get to accept oneself, to get to be kinder to oneself and things like that, and understanding that you are your best friend. Easier said than done, actually. And then whatever you did in your past is contributing to your present and your future, and so that is the reason why whenever you are in life, it is important to try to protect yourself as much as possible, and think about the positive implication there is for you in the future and things like that, and then once you look back, then you can feel really thankful for all the things that you did in your past, and then you can also try to bring some healing for your child self. And I do think that it could sometimes to be an international adoptee means that you don't necessarily live exactly the same life as normal people, and sometimes you need to to invest more time in your health, physical health, and well-being, and so I wish you all the best.